What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous and the most toxic black man on the internet. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. It's been very interesting the last few weeks or so when we've seen these, not only these mass deportations and these massive ICE raids, but we've seen like a retaliation against those, and we've seen them in the form of protest and civil unrest when it comes to the so-called Latin community or the Hispanic community, and even some, white people have sort of jumped in there, whether they actually be white Latinos or just white people in general who are or consider themselves allies of the Hispanic community. And the interesting thing is, out of all the people that are running out there to, push back against these massive deportations and the ICE raids, you don't see a lot of black people out there. And a lot of these other communities are asking, why? Where's the black community? Why is the black community not coming out to support us? Right. And, it's very simple and very easy to explain why the black community is not coming out to help you. I'll say for more of the mainstream black people, the ones that are sucked into the whole right left paradigm and voted for Kamala Harris and the Democrats. The main reason those black people are not coming out for you is because they felt like you all betrayed them. They were duped by the Democratic Party to think that there was some big multiracial coalition between blacks and Hispanics and Latinos and people from different parts of Europe. They thought that you guys were all together in, wanting to support Kamala Harris and support the Democrats and get this uh, fake Indian black woman into office, right? They thought you guys were all on the same team. But after Trump won, the numbers were crunched, and it was shown to them that the majority of you, a lot of you Latinos and Hispanics, you all voted for Trump. And, a lot of black people felt hurt by that. They felt like you turned your back on them and that they, truly don't have your support. So that's why a lot of the mainstream, I'm talking about the mainstream liberal democratic minded black people didn't come out to support you. Now, black folks like myself were never going to come out to support you. I'm just letting you know that there are black people who are, I'm not even going to say the word woke. I'll say we know. Okay. It's not about being woke or being awake or being conscious. That's not strong enough anymore. We know that you are not part of us and you do not like us. We know how you like to come over to this country and join up with white supremacy against us. And we know that also that the white supremacists on the Democratic liberal side like to use you guys as a buffer against us. So we know about you. That's why we're not going to support you, right? So that's the quick answer to why you're not getting a lot of black support. But I have to ask a question, and the important question I have to ask is, I thought that you all had black fatigue, right? Now, not even like a month ago, like a few weeks ago, you were all whining and crying on social media talking about you were tired of black people. You're tired of black people blaming you for everything. You're tired of the way black people act, and you're just tired of black people being around you, period, right? You're tired of black culture, all that good stuff, right? And a lot of you Latinos joined in on that. A lot of you, whether you be white or, brown skinned or whatever, a lot of you joined in with Caucasians in the whole I'm tired of black folks, I got black fatigue all over social media. Some of you are even more harsh than that because, people of color, so called, they like to go hard in the paint when it comes to white supremacy and racism. They can't just use code words. They'll just come right out and call us the N word or whatever word they have in their language for the N word. And a lot of you were saying this on social media, but now all of a sudden you've turned around and say, hey, where's the black folks at? You can't do that. You can't be schizophrenic like that. You can't be dissing us one minute when you think things are going well for you, but then when white supremacy has its jack boots up your ass, you can't turn around and say, hey, where's black folks to help us? We need those black people to help us out here. We're not tired of black people all of a sudden. That's not how it works. And black people, we're not the Power Rangers, we're not the Justice League, we're not the Avengers. We're not just sitting waiting around to put on our capes and our shields to come rescue you. That's not our purpose. Okay? So there are those people who are, begging black people for help on one end of the spectrum. Then on the other end, you got people trying to guilt trip black people into helping them, right? You always have those two dichotomies. You got some trying to play on our sympathies, and you got others trying to, browbeat us or force us to do something. I mean, the Democrats tried that, and they basically played chicken with us during the last couple of elections, and they lost big time. So you would think people will learn their lesson that you can't do that to the black community. But you still got people trying that, still trying to browbeat us and telling us we have to help because they feel like if Trump is coming after them, once he gets done with them, he's going to start coming after us, the black community. And that's not going to work either. I'm here to tell you that they're not coming for black people. They've already come for us. Okay, we've been there, done that, got the T-shirt. We've been living through that. Ever since we came in contact with the European, we have dealt with them, quote unquote, coming for us. We already know what's coming and what has come and what we'll have to deal with. If you look at black people throughout time, we've dealt with way worse than any of these immigrants are even dealing with right now. Okay? We've had our families broken up. Like, when they were talking about, oh, how can you black people not support us when, they're taking our kids away, or they're coming to the schools and taking our kids away, or taking us away from our children. We've been through that for centuries now. Not just during slavery, but they did that to us during Jim Crow. And, they do it to us through the quote unquote legal system, taking away people's children and whatnot, because they say that the people don't have proper living situations, and it's always, they're always the judge as to what's the best living situation. Then they want to give your kids away to foster care where your kids are abused even more and taken advantage of, right? And we've been through the police busting up in our house and killing us. That's per the course of growing up in a black neighborhood. If you've grown up in a black neighborhood, you've seen the police bust down somebody's door, right? Doesn't matter if you're in the projects or a black suburb or whatever. We've seen that before. It might not have been our family per se, but we know someone on the block that's been probably raided by the police. Black people, we know what it's like to be just standing around talking with our friends and the police jump up out the car or out the van or whatever and have us put us on the ground or want to search our bags or just want to harass us just because, right? We understand that. So these little ICE raids that you guys are having, we've been had that. And it's been way worse. You guys get treated really well. They're just there to arrest you. You haven't been you never had a SWAT team busting your place, throw gas and stuff in your house or your apartment complex, or someone put a boot on your skull, or someone put their knee down on your neck. You haven't dealt with that stuff. At least they're just arresting you and deporting you. If these fools come into our spot, we don't know what's going on. We don't know if we're going to even survive the encounter. We don't know if our children are going to survive the encounter. We've had situations where black people are literally just driving down the street and the cops open fire on our cars. We've just been like walking through our place of our house. The cops bust in there and open fire. So all this about they're coming for you. No, they've already come for us. We know what's going to happen. We told you. We've been trying to explain to you what's in store for you if you support these demons like Donald Trump, like the tangerine that's in the White House right now. But you didn't listen. You didn't listen to us. We've been trying to explain to you that it won't take anything for them to start coming for you. In fact, that is the only reason that you are now begging for our help and asking for sympathy, because they're starting to treat you the way that they treat us. Okay, we know how we get treated. Now they're starting to give you some of the, just a taste, not even the whole thing, just a taste of what we've been going through, and you can't handle it. And now you're begging black people for help. Don't look for any help over here. Okay, we're done with that. We're done being sympathetic, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad black community, even though we still have our disagreements with each other and we're not all necessarily on one same page on this subject, black people for the most part are not going for the okie doke, and all the machinations and the the rhetoric given out by a lot of these black politicians and like in the Democratic Party and the Congressional Black Caucus, all that stuff is not working either, right? A lot of black people are not listening to these fools either. You got a lot of them, especially in California, trying to rally black people for help. We're not listening to them either. If they want to go out there and fight ICE or fight these raids or whatever, you go do that. We'll stay home, or we'll just be at home barbecuing or whatever. So, you folks can let me know what you think about what's been going on recently and how you feel about it personally, but I can almost guess what you guys are going to say. But that's how it is right now. That's what it is. Black people as a whole, as a community, we're not running out there to save the world anymore. We got to worry about ourselves. In fact, this is actually the perfect time for us to coalesce amongst ourselves and worry about our own future and our own children when all this is going on. While the tangerine is focused on these Latinos, we need to be with each other, figuring out what we're going to do as far as the future goes forward and how to protect ourselves from these demon monkeys out here with the MAGA hats. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments section. I would love to hear what you have to say and love to hear all of your opinions. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on the devil's back.